Hi everyone, Alex here. Welcome back to the channel. So today will be a really interesting video. I'm sure about that. It will probably take me forever to film it, but don't worry, the editing will be short and concise. I'll put only the best in this video because I have so much to say about the top 10 of the most anticipated album of 2024 in metal. So everything that is not metal didn't make it, even though I might be hyped for this album in particular. So the rules I set to myself to make this top 10 is that it has to be as hype top as ever. The more hype it is, the more high it will be in the top 10. And it has to be looking forward to by a lot of people. If I'm the only one hyped about this and I'm the only one looking forward to this, it won't be in the top 10. I'm making this for everyone in general. So the most anticipated album of 2024 for everyone, basically, not just for my personal tastes, but to give a good idea of what the metal community in general is hyped about. I might be wrong, but I did my best. I was on my computer alone for like an hour just trying to figure out which albums to put in the top 10, but I feel like I did a good job at it. And before we start with these 10 albums, I'm just going to give you guys a lot of honorable mentions that could have made the top 10 but didn't, unfortunately, and I'll explain quickly why they didn't make it. First, we have Bring Me the Horizon. They're releasing an EP. They're really hyped up, but since it's an EP, it was an easy way for me to kick them out. After that, we have Down, the second band of Pantera's lead singer Phil Anselmo. I didn't put it because it seems like this album is taking forever and it might not come out in 2024. Just like putting Tool in this top 10 would be kind of worthless, I feel. After that, we have Architects that released a banger of a song, Seeing Red, a few weeks ago. One song is not enough to hype me up for a new album, so I won't go with this one for the top 10, but if they release another single as good, it could make it. After that, we have Satyricon and Bleeding True. Two bands that I simply love, but I feel are not as hyped up to be in the top 10, but I'm giving them some recognition right now. After that, I'm going with Dark Tranquillity and the Halo Effects, since they have the same singer. Two other bands that could be in my personal top 10, but on the limit of being as hyped up to be in the top 10 in my opinion. After that, Make Them Suffer, that released two incredible singles last year, Ghost of Me and Doom Switch. I even think that Doom Switch was released in 2022. But yeah, this could be a great metalcore album, but there's some even better bands and album in this top 10 in my opinion. But I love these guys. Hopefully they'll deliver and prove me wrong. After that, we have the veterans of metalcore, Shadows Falls, that are releasing an album in 2024. Probably really hyped up for that, but didn't make the top 10. After that, we have Ihsahn, the lead singer of Emperor, that is going to release another album, solo album. It will be incredible. The first single was mind-blowing. This one will make my top 10, but not the top 10 in general. Same thing for the next band, Job for a Cowboy, releasing their next album in the first quarter of 2024, if I remember correctly. After that, we have Sum 41 with Heaven and Hell, not metal enough to make the top 10. Then Testament, I'm just not hyped enough for this one, but it will probably be really good. Then we have massive bands, Gojira, Slaughter to Prevail, Deftones, and Korn. But the reason why they did not make the top 10 is that we don't have enough information yet for them to release an album in 2024. Probably, but we don't know for sure. So that's why they didn't make it. But don't worry, guys. in the future, in like mid 2024, I'll make another video. I already did that in the past, probably in like 2018 or something like that. And I'll do another top 10 for the most anticipated album of the rest of 2024. And at that time, we'll have way more informations, because in my top 10, only 2 out of the 10 albums in the top have album titles yet. So it's crazy. But let's jump straight into the top 10, because I feel like this intro was already way too long. In the 10th position, I decided to go with the band The Black Dahlia Murder. And the reason why I feel like this is a really hyped top release is because, unfortunately, their lead singer Trevor passed away like last year or the year before. So it will be really interesting to see what they decide to do next after how good their last 3 albums were. Verminous, Nightbringers, and Abysmal. Killer release. Now, the guitarist of this band, Brian, decided to step up and become the lead singer of the band. Now, as the rhythm guitarist, one of their previous guitarists that was previously the lead guitarist came back to the band, and he's doing the rhythm guitar now. So it will be really interesting to see what this band does next after missing one of the biggest part of this band, that was Trevor. He was incredible. But I'm so hyped up that they decided to continue, and this album could be one of the best of 2024 if they're able to keep the quality that they had with their fewest latest release. We'll see. I believe in them. That's why I decided to put them in my top 10. And I'm sure this album will be incredible and one of the best of 2024. After that, guys, in the 9th position, I decided to go with Whitechapel. And the reason why for me this one deserves to be in the top 10 as well is because following The Valley and Ken, which was even softer than The Valley, and The Valley already took kind of a softer route, they were really good. I really enjoyed these 2 albums as well. I prefer The Valley over Ken though. Ken was a bit too soft for my tastes. But I'm so excited for the new one because Phil Bozeman, the lead singer of the band, said that he wanted to reconnect with his roots for this new album. So I'm assuming it will be like a brutal deathcore album. Maybe not as brutal as the Somatic Defilement, their very first album. Maybe not that dark and heavy, but I'm sure it will surprise a lot of people, and a lot of people will think that this is true deathcore music. So really excited for Whitechapel for this upcoming album that will definitely see the light of day in 2024. After that, in the 8th position, we have Anthrax. It's been a while since we got an album from these guys, but Worship Music and For All Kings were so good. And it was the proof that Joey needed to come back to the band. Now, it's been so long since For All Kings. We had 5 years between Worship Music and For All Kings, but now in 2024, this will mark 8 years between the last album. And it's crazy because I remember vividly when I was at the record store buying that album, and I can't believe it's been 8 years already. And 2016 is also the year I created this YouTube channel. I'm getting old. I might look like a kid. I might look like a fucking baby, but I'm 27, turning 28 in October next year. It's crazy how time flies. Woof! But for that reason, I'm so excited for the upcoming Anthrax album because the last 2 with Joey were phenomenal. And I'm sure they can do some even better and bigger things on the next one with the time they took. They need to deliver though. But I think they will. In the 7th position, guys, I went with Slipknot. And you might think, oh, it's a really big band, they deserve to be higher on the list. But with everything that happened with this band recently, with all the members they fired, and most recently with them firing Jay Weinberg, which I love and most of the fans loved as well, they're kind of going lower in my esteem, and that's why I'm not putting them higher in the top 10. And also, it's pretty unclear on what they'll do in 2024. They're currently doing the 25th anniversary tour, I think, for their very first album, the self-titled one. They said, I think Clown said recently, even today, that they're finally planning on releasing Look Outside Your Window. Basically, if you have not heard about that, it's an album they record like half of the member of Slipknot, probably the one that are still in the band, in 2008, when they were recording All Hope Is Gone, but it was not really sounding like Slipknot, so what they held it since then, but it might finally see the light of day in 2024. And they're also working on some new music as well, so I'm not sure what we'll see next year, but definitely an album by Slipknot, either the 2008 one or the newest one that they just record. But yeah, they were worth mentioning on the list because I'm really looking forward to the 2008 one more than the most recent or newest or upcoming one, if you want to call it that. Top 6 with Dimmu Borgir. This is a bit of a sketchy one because I could have used the same argument as Gojira, Slaughter to Prevail, and Deftones and Korn for this one and say it might not come out in 2024, but I'm so hyped up for this one that I have to believe that it will be ready this year. Really looking forward to this one. The last album, Aeonian, was fantastic, and I've been listening to this band a lot this year, so I truly hope they come out to release this one next year. But I think I've read an interview somewhere recently that said they have like hit songs already ready to go for next year on the next album. So if that's the case, they have to do like only 2-3 other songs and they'll have an album. So really looking forward to this one. Always bringing an incredible atmosphere, and yeah, I'm just so excited for more Dimmu Borgir. After that, guys, in the 5th position, now entering top 5 finally. I was too hyped up for this earlier. I thought we were there already, but no. I'm going with Xylec Dying. This could be higher on the list. The reason why it's not is because of all the change in the band's lineup. I kind of don't really know what to expect now. Doing the clean vocals, we have the clean vocalist and bassist for Miss May I love this band. I love this guy. So my expectations are pretty high. I think other than that, we have some previous band members from Unearth, if I remember correctly. So Tim Lambesis could deliver a masterpiece because their last album, Shaped by Fire, was definitely at the level of the expectations we had. It did not disappoint at all. So if they can deliver on that level again, this could shape up to be one of the best albums of 2024. That was a great pun. Really made that on the spot. I'm proud of myself right now. Anyway, let's jump to the next album on the list. In the 4th position, and now we could switch basically all the album coming up with each other because I'm so hyped, and the level of hype for any of these albums is through the roof. And in the 4th position, and the reason why this one is not higher is because we don't have the confirmation at 100% that it's coming out in 2024. Might come out in early 2025, but I don't think it will. And it's Killswitch Engage with their yet to be announced upcoming album, but it's been so long since the last one, so it needs to happen. Killswitch is one of the biggest names And yeah, Killswitch Engage represent, by the way, one of the biggest name in the metalcore scene, if not the biggest, that still delivers metalcore music to this day. Because other than that, you have like what, Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium, but they don't have an album in 2024. They're aiming for 2025 at this point, and maybe like what my favorite band, Avenged Sevenfold, but they're not even metalcore anymore. So, or the previous band we talked about, Asylum Dying, is another big name in metalcore. But yeah, Killswitch Engage. And they took a lot of time to make this album, making sure they offer something new and offer only bangers. So I have so much faith in this one. I'm sure it will be incredible. After that, we have in the third position, entering the top 3, Opeth. So hyped up for this. In Kata Venom was so good. I feel like their more prog metal album, they're getting better and better at this. But I still wish that Opeth brings back the growls. If I knew for a fact that Opeth would bring back the growls, this band would be at the top of my list for sure, but I don't think that will happen. Maybe I just don't want to give myself false hope, but if they do, that would be insane. But even if they don't, I'm sure this album will be crazy. Like I said, In Kara Venom was incredible, so if they can deliver on that level once more, I'll be in heaven already. So there you go, Pet. Give us another masterpiece and I'll be pleased. After that, we have an album that is already announced. Yeah, finally. And I'm talking about Invisible Shield by Judas Priest. The first single was mind-blowing. Could be like best album of the year if all the songs would be like that. Second single was not as good. I made a reaction for it. I could put it at the end of this video in the last 20 seconds. If you want to watch it, it will be there for you. Not as good in my opinion, but still definitely strong. Probably top 10 worthy for 2024 if all the songs are like this one. But if they're like the first single, best album ever basically. So that's why it's that high in my top 10, because they delivered so much on that first single that I'm so hyped up, and I'm sure a lot of metalheads are so excited for this album. And it's crazy that at their age, they're still at the top of their game, still firing on all cylinders. Massive props to everybody in Judas Priest. And now with the mighty top 1, best, most anticipated album of 2024 for metal, I'm going with Dream Theater. And this band would certainly make the top 10 in any way, but the main reason for me this one makes it at top 1, and you know it guys, it's because Mike Portnoy is coming back to the band. This will be something. I'm so looking forward to this. When the first single will drop, I'll be the first one on YouTube to make a reaction for it. Mark my word, I'll be there and I'll be losing my mind, that's for sure. Each time I'm listening to Dream Theater, I'm losing my mind, and the comeback of Mike Portnoy to the band will be no exception. It will probably be even crazier. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what they will bring with this new album. It will definitely be something, and if I have the chance to see them live performing this album, or just performing with Mike Portnoy again, I won't miss my chance, because a legend is back, ladies and gentlemen. And for that reason alone, I feel like this album deserves the top spot in the most anticipated metal albums of 2024. I have absolutely no clue of how long this video lasted, so I'll make a short outro just to not bore you too much for the few people that are still there after all this time. But first of all, thank you all so much for coming back to the channel, for watching this video. It means the world to me. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to not miss any upcoming video, and leave a like on the video. That way it helps the channel a lot. The video does better with the YouTube algorithm, and it gets recommended more on YouTube overall. So yeah, if you can do that, it would be incredible. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next video.